بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. I was mentioning a few things regarding my mother rahimahullah ta'ala and before her demise. So when we reached Makkah Mukarramah on Monday, it was the 5th of August. So that day we then, obviously we reached there, we were all tired, so we just done one umrah that day. Then next day, because mum was old, we said, we'll just do one tawaf in the morning for you, and one before Maghrib. Maghrib Isha is too busy, before Fajr is very busy, so we'll just do one. So the first day we done two. And then we thought, you know what, mum said we could do a bit more than this. And then the next 2 days or so, we do one in the morning, early before it gets too hot in the afternoon. And then between Asr and Maghrib, it was like Tamam was on a mission. So she's old, and then she used to have to go to, after each, it takes about an hour on the first floor. 1 hour, but she would need to come back to go toilet, get ready again. So for the 2 days before, she felt sick a bit. She would go throughout the whole tawaf, something in tawaf, funny feeling sleepy. My sister, because I told you she had her foot was not well, so she tried doing it on a wheelchair once. She goes, man, because I fall asleep. When you're in a wheelchair, someone taking you around, I don't like that, you feel all sleepy. But mum was tasbih in her hand, she was doing dua, she was doing that. And then the next day, she did two between Asr and Maghrib, next 2 days. So she would go 1 hour, sit, full on, come back, go to the hotel, go to the toilet, get freshened up, come back again. Like that, kind of, no. So even though, sitting for 3, I mentioned this when I came back to somebody, and he goes, 3 tawaf in a day? I was like, yeah. I didn't even realize, and he goes, I can't even do one. On the first floor to spend 3 hours at that age. It didn't even click to me then. And then from this one, I thought, sometimes, we see a lot of our generation, we have access to a lot of knowledge, we have access to loads of bayans, loads of lectures. I would just listen and listen and listen, like a pastime. But when you see some of the elderly people, elderly meaning old school, the old school, what do you call it, classical Gujarati, Nadima, Dadima, what do they have? Morning they have a set of books you've got to read. So they'll have their Surah Yasin, the Tilawa, they have their dhikr, they have the tasbihat. Yes, and Ramadan comes and they will be so even, for example, even in the old time days, you have TV in the house. When Ramadan comes, they will put a cover up. Ramadan is here, don't watch TV anymore. That's you cover up, you can't watch TV in Ramadan. And then dedication. Sometimes we look, so it's not only mom, it's when you look at the old school people, or when they go to the haram, it's proper, they value their time, ibadah. Sometimes you see some people from the subcontinent, they're doing tawaf and they're sweating, they're proper, when they come out, you can see the leather on their face. It's not like a leather, but they've done tawaf and they've basically exerted. They didn't leave anything on behind. They just put everything in the tawaf. They went and then the tawaf, they made the dua, whatever they could do. And you see some people, some of us, we're young, we got high currency, so it's easy for us to get there. We go there, do one tawaf, one umrah, and then we're in Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, in the restaurants, eating out, shopping. Most of the time, you see most people spend more time in the hotels and more time in shopping than they spend in the haram. Yeah, so we have to create and inculcate in us, learn from the thing. Yes, we have a lot of knowledge in front of us, a lot of information, lots of bayans, lots of lectures, but we should have the quwwah of amal as well. That we want to do amal, we want to use ourselves, use the bodies that Allah has given us to do ibadah. And yes, when Ramadan comes, it's everybody wants to say, okay, let's start, listen to dars, listen to tafsir, read Quran translation. The whole year, do it the whole year. Ramadan comes, do tilawah. Ramadan comes, we cover tahajjud. Yes, this is the time, to have the quwwah of amal. You should have this zeal and passion. Obviously, it should be, we should have to moderate you. I know you're doing too much. Not do something. It's too extreme. It's not that thing no, Ramadan is here, I want to do tilawah. I'm going for hajj, I'm going for umrah. I want to spend, as much time as I possibly could in the haram, doing tawaf, doing dua. Not just it's an alternative, it's a religious holiday. I can go for umrah, get a holiday and still feel good as well. No? That's what kind of it's become. So this is something we can learn from the elders. This is common amongst our old school elders. And younger generation now, we spend so much time just on our phones, this, that. And if we create this habit, we inculcate this habit of just on the phone, just wasting time, what's happening? When we get older, we're going to change. So these older people that we see who are passing away, they would have the daily practices, before Fajr, after Fajr they would read. I remember even Mr. Saisa Palanpur Rahmatullah, he mentioned, he goes, I can't remember his father, his grandfather, his uncle, he goes, Mere chacha the, and he says, when he speaks funny, he goes, वो कुछ वे करते थे, वो कुरान लेकर खोल लेते थे, कुछ वे करते थे, कुछ समझ नहीं आता था वो क्या पढ़ रहे थे. Meaning he's saying, whoever this person was in the family, we didn't understand a word he was saying. But he loved the Quran so much, wherever he was saying, he would pretend he was reading the Quran. He was reading it, but his tajweed was so bad, we didn't understand a thing he was saying. But he had that shock, wherever he could read, he would just read it. And we had that sometimes, like in India, sometimes you have one wall in the village is 1 street long. Even my father, rahmatullah alayhi, his tajweed wasn't that good, I can remember from my memory. But every day after Fajr, he would come in the house, he has an office, he would sit there and read Quran. In Ramadan, he was like on a mission. He would read Quran, same thing. Quran, he had his Quran, and he had his, the silver counters you have. The silver counters you have, you press one, click, 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 click one. He'd have that, and I don't know what he used to read, but he used to have it, and he had a calendar, and every time it clocks over, he would write on his calendar. So I don't know what he used to read and how much he used to read, but I remember when I was younger, that he would write it in. So he would clock it over many times in Ramadan. I don't know what dhikr he was doing, but tajweed wasn't of that high standard, or he didn't have alim or doing dars of Quran or reading tafsir, but the quwwah of amal. When he was younger, what would happen? He would go out and he was like what we call kurima. Basically, we do salesman. You have door-to-door salesman. You would do that job. So they tried to imagine doing that in Barbados when it's hot. But never, I can remember when I was young, never a day Taraweeh would miss a rakat of Taraweeh, ever. So now we say, Taraweeh sunnah mu'akkad, sunnah mu'akkad, if you leave it, it's okay, I'm not feeling a bit well, I got a bit of headache, it's alright. So these elders, they have this azima, and they have this quwwah, and this raghbah for amal, they do something. And we learn something, that's why when you're traveling, when women pray Isha, yes, the old women, what Isha means, 70 rakats, that's it. They read in the book, it's 70 rakats, they pray 70 rakats. There's nothing that can do that. And when we pray, so we need to pray 4, 2, 3, we're alright, it's okay, we're not going to Jannah if you pray 4, 2, 3. No? That's our philosophy, isn't it? If I pray 4, 2, 3, I'm alright, that's it. And the women is 17 rakats. Even sometimes you're traveling with them, it's please, if I tell them, we're traveling, Zohar, you can pray 2 rakats, it's very hot, we're going from Makkah to Medina, just pray 2 rakats, please. One person is going to pray 4, 2, 2, 2, and you get late in the so we were thinking, use your fiqh, traveling, it's hot, but that's also something that they have so much zeal and passion for ibadah. So that's what I want to mention from here, that the one thing we can learn is that at this old age, I remember even when we went 10 years before, my father was alive that time. So again, I was looking at the records, it was about 35, 40 minutes for tawaf that time, on the ring. So even though we had in 7 days, 28 tawafs. So that's old people. So again, you have problem with istinja, tired, getting ready. But even then, every single day, after Fajr or early in the morning, get breakfast, come back until Zuhr non-stop. Come back, have a rest after Asr Maghrib or Maghrib Isha. Again, so 4 tawafs a day in a wheelchair. We got a day missing. So we have to have that kind of zeal and passion in our lives. So if you want to gain something, this is something we can learn. They may not have much knowledge. Mufti Sayyid says the Quran Tilawa, tajweed is not the high level, but it's read every day. So however they could read, they would read it. So they may have less knowledge, may not know all the stories, may not know the ahadith, not know the i'rab of the Quran. But when they would read it every single day, however they could. I mean, to inculcate that in them. This is something of rashk, that we look at them and say, look, they had quwwah of amal. They had this yearn and zeal for passion. And we learn to say, what's my bare minimum? We deal with Allah like a taxman. What's the bare minimum I have to pay? No? Taxman is like, what's the least I have to pay taxes? So Allah is not our religion. Allah is not just bare minimum. If I pray this, I won't go Jahannam. If I do this much, I won't go Jahannam. I won't get in trouble. I won't get sin. That's what we're asking. Is it sin if I don't pray? That's not what we have to have the approach. That no. I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's my Khaliq, He's my Razik, He created me, He favors upon me. I want to do these things. So we have to inculcate the love for ibadah, additional actions in our life, whatever it is, whether it's tawaf, whether it's tilawah, whether it's sadaqah, whatever it is, all these small things. So sometimes we might have this delusion that we have more knowledge than them, or we know more than them in terms of apparent. You may know more words, but the ilm and the ma'rifah and the love of Allah, we have like a very dry knowledge. They may know many things, we don't do amal upon them. They may know less, but what they know, they have lots of love and yearn for Allah and His Rasul, Salat al-Nabi, Tilawah, this thing. So we need to inculcate this desire, this burning desire for ibadah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to act upon this. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.